What is up, guys? It's me, Hacks, coming at you again with another Game Journal update. This is the last one of the year since it's New Year's Eve. So yeah, I made a lot of progress this week. I'm really happy with it. The only thing that's left to do, pretty much coding-wise, is adding the monster UI in battle so that they can attack you back, and I guess refining the dungeon part. So like here, where you could shoot monsters and stuff. I haven't really done that in a bit. But other than that, the game's pretty much done. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. The only thing left, pretty much sad, is more monster sprites and more moves, which are both really easy. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So, let me just show you what I did. I might forget some stuff because it's quite a bit there. Okay, so one of the most prevalent things I did this week was I redid pretty much all. No, I did actually do all of the status effects icons, and I redid them because they didn't look good small. So, you know, I had to redraw them, and also when I did the stat modifier icons, they didn't match. So one had like a bevel and one didn't. It didn't look good at all, so I did that. So I'll just bring in Suzanne to show you. So, for example, I use Wink, which for testing purposes I have to take off all the affect all the stats, not just one. So you can see the stat decreases are on the side here. Each one has an icon. If it's negative effect, it'll be upside down, so that's why, you know, the shield is upside down. You know, I figure it's better than having a negative sign next to it, because it looked pretty bad. So this is my compromise for that. So and you can see you also got a status effect. So this is the new Enrapture status effect for reference here. This is how it used to look like. It used to look like this, and now it looks like this. So even here you can kind of see, you know, if I make this like really small, you can still kind of tell what it is, whereas this, it's a lot harder to read it, right, Tiny? This one's a lot easier to read. It's not too bad on Enrapture, but on something like, you know, Stun, like this, nearly impossible to tell what that even is. So I had to redraw them all. So yeah, and this is speed, attack, accuracy, defense, critical chance, special attack, and special defense. And for in battle, the status effect will be yellow. Of course, you can stack some of them. So this is poison. Some of them you can't stack though. It's the same as before. Like some of them you can, some of them you can't. So you can be enraptured in poison, but for example, I forget what I put on this one. But yeah, I also coded kneecaps move in, so it'll actually shoot you in the knee. Okay. So it amazed him. Okay, so you know this is the amaze, and it got rid of enrapture because you can't be amazed and enraptured because they're too similar. Yeah, so yeah, that's that. So, and you can see here I redid them all. Although these, I didn't update this, I guess, because these icons aren't correct. Neither are these, so I didn't check in battle yet, but on the actual thing they look correct. They're supposed to look like this. Yeah. So you can see All the new status effects. You can probably tell most of them are. I decided to color the types so it didn't look too samey, I guess, or too, kind of blended together when they were all like this. So this way I figured, you know, they're a little separate. And recap again. Hey, yeah. So it'll choose a random knee. So it'll choose the right or the left knee. Now I already know what you're wondering. It's like, well, what if the thing doesn't have knees? Like a slime. Slimes don't have knees. And the answer to your question is you can still use the move. But you won't get the status effect with it, so... Like, slimes don't have knees, so it'll just hit in the middle. And you won't get the status effect because there's no need to cap. Yeah, I came up with that move because I kept hitting my knee at work, like randomly, and it would just, the pain is just immense when you accidentally hit your knee. It's really like debilitating. So I was like, dude, this has to be a move in my game. That's a pain on another scale, I think, when you hit your knee. And if you got shot in the knee, it'd be kind of over, in my opinion. Alright, so next thing I coded in. Adding to party. I actually thought I did this already, but I didn't. I guess because I just forgot to do it. So now when you remove someone and you have an extra spot, you can add them back in if you want. And they get added to the turn data in the correct spot. I thought I had that in already, but I didn't. So, yeah. It's there now. It was just so much, you know, running around with coding and stuff, I forgot to put that in there. Just curious to see if this looks correct here. It doesn't. So I have to, I guess it gets set for some reason, because it looks correct here. Oh wait, the stats and the, what's his face are separate, that's why. Yeah, it's correct here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. Of course, you're like, oh well, I did, yes, I was heavily influenced by Persona there, because their stat screen is really, really nice. Both the one from 5 and 4, although I prefer 4. You know, like this. This looks really good, and I like how homogeneous it is in terms of the color scheme. Very nice. Very easy to read. Like Persona 5's, it looks like this. It's okay. You know, I think it's got too much going on in my opinion. Although I did take this bit here. But I do prefer, like, the one color scheme from 4 and 3, so. Anyway. New status screen. Woohoo. I think it looks pretty good. And I think I did some other things, but I forgot. Because I have not been writing things down. I know, silly me. Silly hacks, but, yeah. Oh, did I? I'm trying to remember if I coded all the status effects to work last time, and I don't think I did. But they all work now. So, yeah. Let me show you that, actually. So, I was using kneecap as, like, the test move to just put crap on. But yeah, every status effect is now... You're now able to put it on. Which you weren't able to before. Because they weren't in existence before. Let's see where... Kneecap, here we are. So I would just go here and change the status effect that it applies to. And it'd probably take too much time to show you every single status effect, but I can do this. You can see now all of these are in here, and they all work. So I'll show you, I guess, I think only these 4 were here before. All of these are new. So you saw a maze already. It's like in Rapture, but You can use it on both genders. Now the thing is between Enrapture and Amaze, okay? So the advantage to using Amaze is that you can use it on girl and a boy, and if it has no gender at all, like slimes don't have a gender. Obviously, they're just slimes. They don't have any sexual organs. So you know, you can make a slime skip its turn if you want. Whereas you can't really enrapture a slime; nothing would happen. So it would just look at you and say, "Eh," because it's. But the pro to using enrapture is that if you use it on the same gender, so if you were Suzanne and you use like enrapture like on a succubus, it would poison her. So it's kind of versatile in that regard. It's like 2 status effects in 1 sort of thing. I don't know, someone probably will use it that way. You can if you want, but yeah, so let me show you stun, freeze, sleep, point, confusion. Okay. Let's do stun first, that's easy. Let's make it really easy. Let's just make Joe playable. Joe all by himself. Yeah, I think it feels pretty good. With every new wave of updates I put in, it feels better and better to me, which was really my goal the entire time. To, you know, have a game that I wanted to play. Because I finished Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and there was no other game like it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll make it myself. No one's making JRPGs nowadays. It's really sad. I mean, you have, like, the series that keep going, like Final Fantasy, you know, there's, like, 15 or 16 of them. They keep making more. But there's no standalone JRPG games, like, that aren't in a series that are just new and fresh. There's, like, none that I can see. There's probably some somewhere, but I haven't seen any, so. Let's see, stun now. And there's a 50% chance you can or can't move. For testing purposes, it's a 100% chance. So, you know. So that's that sort of thing. What's next? Freeze. Freeze is literally the same thing. Although freeze lasts, I think, a little longer than stun. Actually, stun is permanent, I think. No, it isn't. Yes, stun is permanent. It's like Pokemon. But there's a 50% chance. Whereas freeze, if you're frozen, you can't move with a 100% chance. But it has duration, like you can become unfrozen, right? So that's the difference between stun and freeze. Is that, so you can see, looks pretty good. So if you're frozen, you can't move at all. 100% chance until you get unfrozen. For stun, you can move with a 50% chance until you get rid of it with like an item or something. Now you might say, okay, some of these sound kind of OP. Like if I use this on a boss, it would be kind of over. And you're right. But the thing is, you also have to take into consideration that monsters also have status resistances. So, for example, like if you were fighting Rowan and he had 100% resistance to freeze, well, he wouldn't be able to use it. Nothing would happen. So that's the way you kind of mess with the difficulty of battles and stuff by just changing the resistances. Rozak did that in Epic Battle Fantasy 3. And it was great. Like, Acheron, you couldn't... Okay, I shouldn't talk about Epic Battle Fantasy 3. I will talk about it for like 3 hours straight. Yeah, okay, sleep. Sleep is next. Yeah. And you can stack them, depending. I think I talked about it already. He's not sleeping. Wet and confusion. I'll just do confusion, and then I'll put wet separately. And add everyone back, because you can stack that one. We can't stack confusion. Oh yeah, I also added the little burst effect. You know, when for certain status effects, it's like a little, you know, little particle flash of stuff. So for confusion, you know, you saw a bunch of question marks. For a maze, it's like a bunch of stars. I don't think that was there last time. I'm fairly certain it wasn't there last time. Like, nowadays, time goes by. It's all kind of melding together, you know. For me, anyways, so it's kind of hard to remember what I did. So you can see a bunch of stars coming out. Alright. So I'll put this back to wet. And let's put in the gang so I can show you how it stacks. So part of the strategy will be, you know, stacking the status effects that you can stack if you want. Oh, yes, and wet does work. So wet increases your resistance, decreases your resistance to electricity, wind, and ice by 100%. So if you were normal to those moves, you would then become dangerous in terms of how much damage. It would do twice as much damage, essentially. So I can show you that it does work. I just remembered to show it. I can get rid of... Oh, right. There's no one else in the party. Ha! Gotta add Ethan. With Electrous Muse. I'll swap me with Suzanne, though, because I need her thing. Alright. Alright, final round to show ya. So let's give him a bunch of crap. So I enraptured him. I can poison him. Dan doesn't have any status effects right now. I'm gonna wet him. -3. And now, switch it over. And we're gonna use a... I have to wait because Ethan's very slow. Oh, I took Suzanne out, so it's like, what? There's no name here. Yes, he's out. Yeah, you can see he's weak to it now. But that's because, electricity. Yeah, he's strong to electricity. So, it does 50% less normally. But because he's wet, which sounds kind of weird to say, it's now negative 50%. So it becomes strong. Instead of becoming strong, it's now weak. I wish I had a wind move to show you. But I don't. And I don't think I have a nice move either. Because I haven't coded it in yet. But we could use it on slimes. And you can see it. Because slimes don't have any resistance to anything. Because they're simple. And slimy. Don't die, slime. Oh yeah, I don't have knees, so I can't wet them. No! It's working as intended. I hate when that happens. Alright, well, in that case, we could do another workaround. And change Ethan's resistances. Ooh. Yeah, so let's make it that he's normal to electricity. Ooh, so sneaky. I think there was also a bug, but it won't be in the final game. You can see Ethan's level 8 now, because Ethan's also here. It's a minor bug, but you'll never encounter it, because when you fight Ethan, you obviously don't have Ethan in your party. So it's not really a bug, but I should code it out anyway, because it's not good practice. But, I mean, this will literally never happen, so... Anyway. Yeah. Make them wet. Now if I use electric move, yeah, you can see. So now it does twice as much damage. And if they're already weak to it, well, then it becomes suicidal. So you can use that to your advantage. It does go away after 3 to 5 turns, like all the other status effects. So yeah. So that's the basic rundown on status effects. Actually, I forgot to show one more thing. And that is the changes that happen when you change status effects, like speed. I think speed's the only one that has a major impact. Because that affects turn order. So, for example, you see Ethan moves next, right? And here he moves next. Now if I lower his speed by 20%, he no longer moves next, he moves after Rowan. Because he's slower than Rowan now. You know, it's the little things. It's the little things in life. So yeah. And as, you know, as his turn passes, it'll decrease by 5%. That's for all stat modifiers. It'll decrease by 5%. Now the max you can decrease someone's stats by is 50%. And the max you can increase your own stats by is 70%. Just so it's not, obviously, if it was more than that, it would be a problem. So, yeah. So yeah, as the turns go on, Ethan is moving after Rowan here. Now it's 10%. He's still slower than Rowan is. You can't help being slow. Now it's 5% and he's faster. So he's moved up. Yep, so it might not seem like a lot. I don't know if it does or it doesn't, but quite a bit. Quite a bit. So battling's pretty much done. I just have to refine all the moves and stuff, which is pretty simple and easy. But yeah, the framework's pretty much done. I just gotta add more monsters in. And yeah. So, next year, I'll be doing that, I guess. And working on the dungeon mode a little bit here, too. Like, when you walk in here, you see, you're supposed to be able to spawn a weapon, and you have, in Joe's case, you have ammunition. I pressed tab. I don't know why I pressed tab. I forget what button it is. It's been way too long. I think, oh, it might be shift. Yeah, there you go. See, you're supposed to be able to shoot him and stuff, but I literally forgot all about it because I was doing the battle mode. So, yeah. But yeah, next time I'll have some more stuff with that. I should be able to get my tablet pen by next week. I had to buy another one. I don't know where this one is. I lost it. I think my cats did something with it, so I just bought another one. So, it should be coming in a few days. And yeah, I should have more art and stuff. So, have a happy new year, and I'll see you next time.